How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some Pokemon rumors, leaks, all that kind of stuff. If you guys are ready, then sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. First things first is going to be this right here. I'm going to move my monitor a little bit. There we go. So, first things first, we have this post right here from Riddler Coup. For those of you who do not know him, he is a previous leaker. He used to do riddles, which gave us answers to different things for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet ahead of time, because he does have inside information, but he doesn't actually give it out just straight out. Instead, he makes riddles for us to solve. He has been correct in the past, though lately people are a little bit less trustworthy of him because he hasn't provided as much information, if you want to put it that way. Either way, he tweeted out this right here. Basically, a Chinese letter and then Cha Ling. And basically, I have no idea what that means. If you translate it, the first one just translated into pig for whatever reason, which I didn't know what to do with. But according to Blaze Incineroar down here, he says that the following could be what they're talking about, right? That it's referring to the, I guess, this being rather a hint, all three of these being hints towards the three different starters that we're going to be getting, right? So each one of these letters or words connects to something, in Chinese, I'm guessing, right, or Mandarin in this case, connects to some of those, and that would give us the answer for at least the starters. But again, there is not really much of anything to learn from here, at least based on what I can see. Some people are guessing like a grass fox, a fire owl, a water armadillo. I don't know, Chief. Again, we don't even know if he's talking about Generation 10 here, because keep in mind, we do know that Generation 10 is in the works. That has been confirmed by the insider leaks from Game Freak. We know for a fact that they are working on the next generation of Pokemon. They are working on that. However, is this for Legends ZA or is this for Gen 10? I'm assuming Legends ZA because that's the most closest thing we have to work with, right? That would make the most amount of sense. So yeah, I really wonder though what this is referring to. I've seen a few different theories, mostly like it's either about Litwick or it being like, you know, the starters. I do see a lot of posts about it being Litwick. And Jordan says, I am prepared to be very wrong, which could also be that this is him referring to there being maybe a brand new form of Litwick, which if you think about it, actually kind of makes sense. Like Litwick is one of those Pokemon where I can easily see it being kind of added into a Legends ZA or like a Kalos game, a game based in Kalos, and them doing something to make it more like French, if you want to put it like that, right? I can definitely imagine that. And going down here, I'm looking at some of the other posts. Just, you know, Jay here just guessing Mega Embor. Somebody, you know, Blaze again being like, maybe starters, please be starters this time. Again, I'm not seeing a lot of answers, but most people are saying that the first one is just pig. The second one is, or I guess, you know, the first symbol, I guess, is for pig. Ling is for monkey, so it could be Grookey. And no ID for Cha, mainly to do with tea or cars/carts from what I searched. Or Cha from Spanish to do with the dance or to serve equals Quoxley. So again, so far based on this, it would be, and according to Josh here, so shout out to Josh, by the way, for actually making this, you know, discovery, because I did not know how to translate this. The only thing I got was pig, okay? But yeah, so pig could be Tepig. That's the only one we could really be, like, if we're going to be honest here, the most logical one. Ling being for monkey, Grookey or Chimchar, either one of those two, but Grookey more likely because of the fact that Chimchar is more of a chimp, right? Not really, it's a chimpanzee, whereas Grookey is a monkey, right? A straight up monkey. So Grookey, Tepig, pretty good options, I guess, if you want to put it like that. I'm not the biggest fan of Rillaboom, but still. The question then is, what is the third one? Is it Quoxley as guest here? I don't know, but I don't know, man. Tepig, Grookey, and Quoxley would not be the most based, like, options, in my opinion, or the best options for a game. Like, I don't know. I don't like that triple combo. Maybe they do go for that. Who knows? But I don't know. I'm not feeling it. And then some people had some other guesses, you know, like trying to, like, for example, Grottle in Pinion is literally has Ling in its name, but I don't really know if that really makes a difference. But yeah, most likely could be starters. Could be a hint to the starters. We just do not know. We're going to have to wait and literally see. We're going to have to wait and see, right? But it is what it is. Let's move on to the next thing, which is this post right here. Luckily, I cannot show you the image down here, which is fine. It's good. But there is some important information from this post. This is right here a compilation of everything we know about Legends ZA so far, okay? This is all a mixture of official stuff, leaked information, like actually confirmed leaked info, and other stuff like that. So let's go from the top all the way down. So it takes place entirely within Lumio City. We know this because the official Twitter account, the official literal, like, Pokemon and Nintendo accounts have confirmed that it is taking place mainly within the city of Lumios, right? And I think even the leaker confirmed that too. So we're not going to go to all of Kalos. We're not going to see Southern Kalos. We're not going to go any otherwhere. really just nowhere else in Kalos, right? Just Lumio City. But what else is there, though? Well, it's being developed for Switch 1, not for Switch 2. That's a big one because I know a lot of people going crazy like, the website says for the Switch consoles with an S, which means multiple. There's more than one Switch console. You have the Switch Lite, the Switch OLED, the Switch, you have a few different options. So technically, yeah, it isn't just the regular Switch, right? But no, it's confirmed that it's not coming to Switch 2, though there was some talks about there potentially them trying to put it on Switch 2, which anything is possible. I think it's going to be like backwards compatible for the Switch 2 probably. Like that's highly likely to be the case because usually whenever like a brand new generation of console comes out, it's usually always backwards compatible unless it's like a big step like going from the Wii U to the Switch, right? That was a big step where like there was no backwards compatibility, but between the Switch and Switch 2, there most likely could be the same way there was between the DS and the Nintendo 3DS, right? There was an actual, you could genuinely, see a sort of, what would the right word be here? You could actually see the evolution wasn't that massive where you could actually have backwards compatibility because the chips would be able to fit in. But yeah, then they also say that a number of new megas will be introduced. And the ones we have confirmed, for a fact confirmed, okay? Like for a fact confirmed, Mega Zygarde, Mega Zeraora. Those two have been confirmed by actual email files and stuff between Game Freak employees, which basically confirmed it. So Mega Zygarde, molto bene, and Mega Zeraora, even more, okay? It's perfect because those two are just great. Like, Zygarde deserves it. Zygarde is the most neglected freaking legendary, dude. Dude just gets no attention, okay? That Pokemon just got shafted because they never made Pokemon Z, which, by the way, Pokemon Z was actually confirmed. They genuinely were working on Pokemon Z. There are files now. You guys can find this all on the internet if you want to. But there are actually files confirming the Pokemon Z version, not ZA, but Pokemon Z, back when X and Y came out, was in the works, but it got canceled. The whole project just got shut down, and they didn't continue working on it, which is unfortunate, but what can you do, right? It is what it is. But yeah, so that's another confirmation we have. And beyond that, though, what else is there? They also say the others, so there are other megas as well on top of the ones we know about, as well as Shiny Sparkle sound from Legends Arceus is back. So if you guys don't remember, in Legends Arceus, whenever a Shiny would spawn in, there would be a Shiny Sparkle sound that would play to sort of notify you that there is a Shiny in the area, which is great. That was in Legends Arceus, but then it got removed in Scarlet and Violet for whatever reason. But guess what? It is actually back. They apparently brought it back in Pokemon Legends ZA, according to the leaker. It's been confirmed. Then they also say that unlike Legends Arceus, the game is not set in the past. So Legends ZA is not going to be set in the past version of whatever, Kalos in this case. It's going to be set at just a regular time or slightly in the future. They say the art style is similar to Scarlet and Violet. Fair enough. Not that crazy to assume that would be the case because this is going to be like the last, Switch 1 or original Switch, generation console game for Pokemon, right? Like this is the last one before we move on to the Switch 2, the next console, which is coming out next year, right? So it just makes sense that we would have this be in a similar art style so they don't have to make a whole new style for the last game when they're going to be working far more on the new style for the next game, right? So yeah. Either way, current build still has performance issues similar to Scarlet and Violet. This is this is one of those where I really hope that this is just an issue that exists right now and is not going to be an issue down the line because it is a leaked build, right? It's an early build that this person played. The leaker played a very early version of Legends ZA. So hopefully, I would really hope so, at least, that because it's such an early build, that maybe, hopefully, God bless, maybe this will be fixed by the time the game is actually being released. Like, I would assume that would be the case. I really don't think there's, like, a chance that they're going to just, like, not do that, if you guys catch my drift. Like, come on. It just doesn't make any sense, right? It would just make total sense that it would be already fixed by then. Either way, though. Next up, Mabel. So Mabel is from Team Flare. Apparently, from Team Flare is going to be in the game and part of the Quasar organization somehow. I think I already spoke on this a little bit in, like, my last video. That, yes, so Quasar, for those of you who don't know, is like a... It's like a space thing. I don't really know how to explain it. I think it's like when a star not explodes. That's supernova. But basically, has to do with some spatial stuff. Okay, some stuff in space. But basically, Quasar is like another same way to Team Flare, because Flare actually makes sense. Flare is based on solar flares, like different levels of solar flares, because when the sun exists, it shoots out like just lava and a lot of heat, and it creates solar flares. And these solar flares have different levels. And those levels are what they based the different names and the different designs of the Team Flare admins, right? The Team Flare admins and members like Mabel were all based on those solar flare levels. But now she's going to be back. But also Team Quasar, the organization of Quasar, is the new replacement for Team Flare. They're like the new evil group or the new organization similar to the Survey Corps we were part of like in Legends Arceus. So that's just fair enough. Apparently, it was originally planned to release in 2024, but the current release date is between April and July of 2025, unless there's another delay. There is a potential chance, and this is like a biggest thing we're going to talk about today, and it's going to be also to do with this right here, but I do think there's a high chance we might get a delay on Legends ZA, and I think the biggest reason, and this is why I haven't really been talking as much about the leaks lately, is probably because of the massive data leak, right? Like that mega leak, that Terra leak that happened, I'm somebody who covers leaks and rumors and stuff like that, and I love them. But that was honestly almost too big to the point that I kind of mentally tapped out. I could have been covering a lot of it. I could have easily made a bunch of more videos, but it just didn't make sense. There was just too much, and it was too much information to cover, and a lot of it that was like, there's too much stuff out there, and especially with personal information about developers and stuff coming out, like that's like too far, where I'm just like, no, I don't want to go into that kind of stuff. That's just not cool in my opinion. And that's where like the leaker, I feel like, fucked up. But at the end of the day, he still brought us a lot of information. This is the most we've learned about Legends ZA, literally at all. Like, we've gotten zero information from Pokemon themselves, and in a weird way, I feel like they need to kind of announce something. They need to give some sort of information because people are just waiting but getting nothing, okay? There's just zero info out there. There's zero official news. They really need to announce something, but I feel like this is only going to delay them further because now they're in hyper, crazy mode trying to like figure out how the leak happened. What did they do wrong? Who needs to get fired? Because somebody's going to lose their job. Like, somebody's going to be in trouble for this. Like, the blame has to go somewhere, especially in Japanese companies. Like, the higher-ups will not take the shit for it. It's going to be somebody down the ladder. Somebody's going to have to take the blame for it. And whoever it is, whether it's like the security company that they work with or just somebody who works on the admin side or the administration side of, that part of the company, somebody's going to be in trouble, okay? And because of that stuff, it causes a chain link reaction, which leads down from like the top all the way to the bottom, causing issues and then spreading left and right through those veins, right? It goes into every direction, causing issues in the production line because the leak causes something to go wrong, and then that causes a chain reaction, which fucks up everything. And that's where I feel like we're not going to see news on this for a while still. I mean, there is still a chance we might get news soon, which if they had like a planned set of releases or a planned set of news that were meant to come out, like an actual, like a specific pattern of like news releases that were supposed to come out, that's still probably going to happen. But the problem is we just don't know when. That's the biggest issue, right? That's our biggest problem. We don't know. And also, if the release date was supposed to be April, July 2025, I'm really hoping that still stays the same because this Terra leak caused millions in damages, okay? And you might wonder to yourself, how does it cause millions in damages? Because they always say that. They always say that when a data leak happens or something at a big company. It's like they leak internal files that are important to the company, whatever. It's like, oh, how is it going to cause damage? Well, think about it like this, right? You have spent a certain amount of money preparing a promotional campaign, right? You've paid people to literally create this campaign, to prepare it, to do the art, etc., right? That campaign gets leaked. All the information about it is leaked. The preparation, the hype, everything you were going to build off of that falls flat now. I mean, you might think to yourself, but yeah, but still do it. Of course you can. But it does cause this kind of issue where it's like, yeah, that was not meant to be shown yet. That was supposed to be on this particular day to match up with this other promotional thing we're doing, etc., etc. It's a chain reaction that fucks up something that cost a lot of money to produce to begin with, which now kind of becomes pointless because it's already out there. So what's the point? They already wasted all that money. So that's kind of where those issues happen. But also damages in the sense that a lot of internal files, a lot of internal data, a lot of internal, details about the company are now out in the wild that anybody can grab, including other companies. That's where another issue happens. That's what causes those damages. But yeah, so It is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then the most important news on this entire post is Stunfisk is in the game, baby! Let's go! Okay, Stunfisk is in the game. We know that. All right, moving on. So this is a post that I think is interesting because it goes into exactly what we just spoke about. So starting off, it was here, who is ready for Pokémon Legends ZA news this week? This was posted on the 27th, so this was last week, or well, this week still by the time I'm posting this video. But this was posted, I guess, well, yeah, last week actually, yeah. So he says, this week, though the leaks may have messed with the whispers we've heard, at the same time, I don't think PLZA will be strongly connected to the Switch 2. So this development, Pyoro, with Pyoro changing his bio and banner image is interesting. And then what is he talking about? Well, Pyoro is one of these leakers as well. And Pyoro changed his picture. And he also included that little like watch thingy up there, which is funny. But he did change his profile picture to blacked out, which is interesting. And then also here he says, sadly, it seems these leaks are at the forefront of TPC. There was a credible whisper going around, so I can only assume that this info was delayed. It's actually insane that the Pokemon Company Incorporated still hasn't shared anything from Legends ZA. I've said this a million times and how they could just show us one new mega to get us hyped, but no. It's just sad. It makes it look like they don't really care. Marketing is down the drain, which I agree. I do think that they have really dropped the ball on the marketing side of this. Then again, I think the reason why there is zero marketing is because this game is not coming out this year. That's the biggest reason. Unless this game, like the biggest issue is this, right? If this game is coming out in April or July, as we've been told apparently by people on the inside, if it's coming out in April or July, okay? You definitely need to do some promo right now. Like, you got to start doing the promo now because you only have, like, what, half a year, maybe less, right? You don't have a long time left before the game is supposed to release. You got to get people invested. You got to get people excited. Some people don't even know this game is coming out. Some people don't even realize it even exists anymore. And sure, whenever it does drop, maybe then people will notice. But what I'm trying to say is you need to keep yourself in people's minds. As much as my videos are just stupid gossip bullshit, like these videos aren't anything special, let's be freaking honest. You're just here listening to a dumbass talking about Pokemon news or Pokemon posts on Twitter. But point is, you are here, you're watching, you're interested, you're staying in tune with these news. That is what matters. I am doing a lot of work to help the Pokemon Company. Every time I talk about this shit, it keeps it in your mind. It makes you think about Legends ZA. It makes you think about Pokemon. It makes you want to play Pokemon. Maybe not always, but it does keep you invested in the franchise. That is what matters. Here's the thing though. I cannot do my job, which is to talk about Pokemon and get you excited for Pokemon, if they do not give us anything to talk about. Normally, there is something we can talk about. Now, there is zero. And that's where the issue is. If we have nothing to talk about, then fans don't have anything to discuss. What are you going to talk to your friends about in regards to Legends ZA when you know fucking nothing about it? There's no info. There's no gameplay. There's nothing. That is where the issue lies. And the problem is, you're just going to mentally tab out and forget about it. I have the same thing with other games. There are certain games where I'm super excited for them. I cannot wait for them to release. Except they just never promote it. I just never see it promoted. And then suddenly the game is dropped and I only hear about it like fucking months later. I'm like, yo, wait, hold up. Wait, this shit came out? How was I supposed to know it came out? I never saw any news on it. I never saw posts about it. I never saw a trailer. Or maybe the trailer did drop. I just didn't get notified. You gotta almost like, give people info nonstop to keep it in their mind. I didn't even know until just very recent, like literally yesterday or something, that the new Mario and Luigi game came out. I didn't even know, like I forgot it was even existing. I literally forgot its existence because they don't do enough promo. They need to promote it more often. They need to like put it out there so people are aware of it. So of course, there's always going to be people who are paying attention, who do remember. Obviously, I'm not talking about every single person, but for people like myself who cannot pay attention to every little thing, because keep in mind, life is busy. There is so many games coming out. There's so many movies, so many shows, so many things, so many YouTube videos. There's just so much content, entertainment, and stuff out there. You need to keep yourself at the forefront if you want to stay in people's mind. Of course, Pokemon is just so big, but Legends ZA is still a Legends game. A Legends game that may or may not perform better than the last one, may or may not perform worse than the last one. Who knows? But it is a singular game. It's not like their usual double trouble combo. It's not. Which means that it's already going to sell less because you're not going to have those people who buy double copies. They're not going to do that now because you only have one copy to buy. So that's where another issue lies. You need to almost like, literally, you need to promote more. Where they're doing the opposite, they're promoting less. So all I'm saying is, I really hope that they do get that promotional marketing going. Probably, I mean, let's be real. They're not going to do it until probably Pokemon Day of next year. And we're not too far away now. We're now at the beginning of November. 2 months left of 2024. Then we're in 2025. And yeah, 2025 is probably going to be when we first see more news on this game. I think Pokemon Day is when we're going to have to wait until we get some information. And then we're going to get the promotional cycle. But I feel like if they're going to promote it that early into the year, then how late is it actually dropping? Is it April, July, or is it going to be the most realistic November, October, that kind of time frame? Where does it land, right? Where does it actually land? But yeah, I'd really wonder what you guys think about this whole thing. It is, you know, like... It is interesting. And it's not like, again, like I disagree with this person, Senjo, here saying stop rushing them. I want a good game for months. Leave him some time. This is not about them rushing the game out. This has nothing to do with them getting the game out early. It's about keeping people invested in the game, right? Keeping, like, from just a marketing standpoint, keeping people invested in the franchise. Because I have no interest in Pokemon right now. I have just no interest. Like, as a guy who literally covers Pokemon for a living, I do not care. There's just nothing to be interested in about. And you could say, well, there's TCG Pocket. No, there is not. I'm sorry, but that's just a glorified slot machine. Let's be honest, okay? And honestly, that's not the side of Pokemon that I care about to begin with. I care about the mainline games. That's what I'm invested in. And unfortunately, because Pokemon DLC releases are considered as big as a new game at this point, it is kind of, you know, there's just nothing there to really do. There's only so many times I can do raids in Scarlet and Violet before I'm just fucking tired of it, okay? After a while, it just gets monotonous, boring, tiresome even. Like, you just, after a while... you just do not care. Like, after a while, you just lose interest. You lose patience. You don't care anymore. And that's where I've gotten with it. Like, I just do not care about the raids anymore after a while. And I will mention one right now that is out is the For Alligator one, which you can definitely do if you want to do it. But I have just gotten to the point where I'm burnt out of the game. I'm burnt out of Scarlet and Violet. I've replayed the game like 15 times. I don't want to play it again, okay? I want something new, which I get it. The game has only been out for like, what, 2 years? Like, what? Like, let me do the math now. So it came out in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. We're down 20. Oh, holy shit, 3 years. Basically 3 years now. It's give or take 3 years since that game came out. 2-3 years, right? I'm sorry, but I need something different now. Like, I have been playing Scarlet and Violet over and over again, and you could say play the older games. I've played those even more than Scarlet and Violet, okay? I've played every Pokemon game multiple times, except X and Y. Weirdly enough, that's the only one I haven't, like, played through properly. But, like, everything else, I played through a million times. It's just, you need something new to keep people invested, to keep people wanting to buy your merch and spend money on your stuff or watch your anime or whatever it is. You need to keep people invested. And for me, the investment hall has always been information about the next game, getting me excited, getting me ready. And this just isn't any of that. So we're going to leave that at that and move on to the next thing. Now, this is, in my opinion, I swear to God, I really hope they bring this back in the future. But apparently, in Pokemon Sun and Moon, there was a planned gym building feature. Now, I've made a video on my other channel called Ruffle Rally Plays. I actually made a video a while back where I specifically played a Pokemon game, and I actually made my own game with the help of you guys out there, my friends, my fellow Pokemon fans. We actually made a game way back right here. So way back here, you guys can see the video in the top right here where my face is blocking it. This right here. So we actually made a video called I Survived 100 Days as a Gym Leader in my own Pokemon game. So we made a Pokemon game where you play as a gym leader, and then later down the line, more games came out. Like there was like a really big one, you guys may know it, This Gym of Mine, which is a game where you specifically play as a gym leader. Well, I always wanted that. I've always asked for a game in Pokemon that is specifically aimed as you being a gym leader. For whatever fucking reason, we never get that. I've never understood why we don't get that, but I mean, okay, fair enough. Sure, you don't want to give us, okay, fine. That's okay. That's fine. I can live with that. But why do we not get, that feature eventually? Right? Like, how have we not gotten that feature, especially when you already tested it? So here, project overview. After clearing the game, a Pokemon gym will be established. This is a collective term for a series of sub-events to scout suitable individuals to be gym leaders. Project's intent. The goal is to allow character fans to enjoy interactions with new characters from Niji and engage in Pokemon battles while responding to character demands. The aim is to also incorporate flat battles to facilitate growth from casual to more intermediate level players in battle experiences. Player benefits. Apparently, players can obtain gym badges for customization. Players will also acquire Pokemon adjusted for battle, which cannot be obtained in the wild. And then setting proposal. In conjunction with the construction of the Pokemon League, 8 Pokemon gyms will be established across the Alola region. As the champion of the Alola region, players will be asked to appoint 8 gym leaders. The request comes from a Pokemon professor, along with a list of potential candidates. The appointment of a gym leader is a unique process for Alola. In past games, the methods have been through nomination or succession, hinted at during sub-events. Gym leader scout note. The aim is to have a basic common processing system. So they literally had a whole concept that they were going to include. You guys may remember this in Pokemon Sun and Moon. There was this like gym that was being worked on, or like this location kind of that looked unfinished, and they had like a bunch of Machops or Machokes or whatever working there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're working on a project. The I don't know what they called it again, the League project or whatever." And everybody was like, "Oh my god, in the Ultra Sun and Moon, we're gonna finally get it. We're gonna get our own gym. We're gonna make our own gym." They were going to do that, but they didn't do it. They canceled it. I don't know why they did cancel it. It's unfortunate, but I really hope that they bring it back. Like, I really pray and hope that this will return in a future game. Again, no guarantees, but like I said, I used to cover this over on Ruffle Royale Plays. You guys can check the channel out. I haven't posted in 3 months. I am working on something there, but soon I'll get to it. Next up, though, is a list of scrapped Pokemon, specifically scrapped Pokemon Alola forms, right? So there was supposed to be an Electric Rock Rhyhorn, a Water Fairy Seal, a Water Fairy Dugong, a Bug Fairy Scyther, and a Fighting Snorlax. Apparently all of those got canceled, though, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, guess that pretty much summarizes that. And yeah, I don't really think there is much else to me to mention. I think we've gone through most of the stuff I want to talk about for today's video. If there is anything else, I will probably cover it soon. And I want to know in the comment section down below, guys, do you guys want these videos to be back to daily again, or do you prefer it when I do these every like 3 to 4 to 5 days, like a little bit of interspersement? I'd love to know. Please let me know, because I feel like I don't want to spam you guys with these, but I also don't want to go too long without posting. I think like now it's been too long. It's been over a week, but yeah, we're back. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.